Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
He's very, very worried.
Good.
He's got 91 counts, 4 big indictments. It feels like he is the Al Capone of our current.
I know why, because he keeps comparing himself to Al Capone.
Yeah.
Because he keeps mentioning it, right? All right. I believe children of the future, Chris, and that's why. I guess they're not banning the Grinch because Trump is using that in legal filings now. It's hard to know which things are actually real. Like, he really is selling parts of his suit that he was arrested in, and actually the thing says don't surrender, and it's a thing of him surrendering and the suit that he surrendered in.
Right.
Unlike the Grinch, I would never be caught by the little Whovillians.
Carl, even for this era of Trump and Trumpism in America, yesterday was an extraordinary day, wasn't it? Them starting the first impeachment of a president in United States history based on absolutely nothing, even according to many people in their party, based on no evidence of any kind. I don't, as they begin contempt proceedings against Hunter Biden, who has offered to testify in public, as Hillary Clinton did, he's offered twice now. Right. And there's a whole bunch of them standing there that defied subpoenas that are talking about the importance of complying to subpoenas. I mean, it really was bizarro world yesterday, wasn't it?
Here's why they don't want the interview in public, because it'll go something like this. Mr. Biden, did you get a loan of $4,000 from your father for a used car? Yes, I did. And did you pay it back? Yes, I did. All right. Well,
Okay,
thank you very much
scene.
for coming in today.
Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I mean, what a fiasco. And then, it's everything's an emergency, but they left town, right? And as we keep saying, the border is not an emergency. The last thing they ever are going to do is try to fix the border, because this is what they run on every time, right? It's like squirrel politically. Ooh, caravan, look. And the media falls
If they
for
wanted
it.
to fix the border, they'd work with the Biden administration to do so. They'd work with the Biden administration to ham out, our policies around folks coming here seeking asylum and make sure that everything is done orderly. But that's not their interest.
Yeah.
Their interest in having an issue that they can continue to rile their base up over.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard to, as the stock market hits literally the record high ever, Carl, it is just hard for them to spin. Brian Tyler Cohen quoted Gavin Newsom. Since Reagan left office, there have been 50 million American jobs created. 48 million of them have been created under Democratic administrations. The last 3 Republican presidents have one thing in common: recessions. This is, what did they, one economist said, it is the best time to look for a job since the 1960s. We are way below, full employment, right? 3.7.
And that's why the attacks become more and more vicious, because in the face of that, they have to create conflict and they have to create unease, and so that's what they go after. Is the the notion that we have stability here at home. They thrive in the chaos. That's why they've always backed Trump.
Carl, we keep talking about you teach facts and figures and, in school. And we've been talking about just the war on objective facts and reality. Yesterday, Trump was speaking and he said, gas is $9 a gallon.
Where?
The national average for gas is $3.12. In Iowa, where Trump was speaking, it's $2.82. Talk about, then they try to say Biden's out of touch. I mean, and I was saying it's going to be like, I guess the Fox viewers watching Jason Chaffetz say he paid $90 for a turkey, that's what they believe, other than the $20 they know they paid for their turkey and most people paid?
Well, I mean, in fairness, the gas that you use in your car to go to the grocery store to buy the $100 turkey is, $25 a gallon, not $9. So he was underselling, but only for that specific route to that specific grocery store.
Yeah. I mean, I keep talking about their, as you're in your former role as political strategist, just their ability to just repeat one stupid talking point over and over again that apparently seems to have sunk in that Biden's old. And Jimmy Kimmel had the best line. He said, just because you think Alfred may be getting a bit too old to take care of the Batcave doesn't mean you should replace him with the Joker.
Right.
Right.
And by the way, Alfred's not too old.
No.
He was doing fine. I mean, Carl,
Trump's more of the penguin, anyways.
Yeah. Right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But, I guess obviously they're immune to charges of hypocrisy and whatever, but are the American people? I think this is going to backfire on them spectacularly. This ridiculous.
Well,
I mean,
all of this is about ginning up turnout from their base. It has nothing to do with convincing voters in the middle. Their hope is that they can turn out their conservative base, and that will be enough to save them in the House and Senate. I don't think any of them think that Trump is going to be elected president, but it's one of those things where the landscape is unpredictable. So
it struck me
too early to jump in feet first and get involved.
It struck me yesterday, Carl, depending on what happens with the Supreme Court, that he's clearly running to stay out of jail, but it's the first time that I don't know what percentage of people are going to vote to keep him out of jail. I mean, it's like an extraordinary reason to vote for a president, but I mean, here we are. I was going to say, here, Chris, who said this would be 4 years ago today, actually?
Oh, okay.
Who said the founding fathers, the founder of this country, warned against single-party impeachments, and they had a very specific reason for warning us against that? Who said that?
Baby New Year.
No, that would be Speaker Mike Johnson. Oh. That was, yeah. That's when that was bad, Carl.
You're asking a lot from the speaker about whether or not he can be consistent with his.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to proceed. And, we're through the looking glass. Everything they say going forward is suspect, especially if they won't do it in public.
Right. To your point of getting sworn in on the banned LGBTQ books, I mean, I think the vast majority of Americans agree with us that, if you don't believe in gay marriage, don't marry someone of the same sex. If you don't believe in abortion, don't have one. Right. But Angry Bunny on Twitter said the reasons why women get an abortion are the following. Number 1, none of your business. Number 2, none of your business. Number 3, none of your business. Rinse and repeat. I mean, that's the way the majority, I think, of Americans feel, Carl. And I keep saying it, but I think Roe rage is real. And the more and more of these real life stories like coming out of Texas, the worse it's going to get for Republicans.
Horrifying, and I think that's one of the reasons that you're seeing, majorities of voters in state after state, including dark red, ruby red conservative states, pass constitutional amendments to protect reproductive freedom. And it's one of the reasons that you're seeing in election after election increased Democratic enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Ever since Roe happened, regardless of whether Democrats had a shot of winning the election in which they were running, more Democrats turned out to vote. So we won tons of special elections, but even in the special elections where we were never going to win in the first place, Democrats did better than historically predicted.
Yeah.
So that is one of the reasons that you're seeing Trump pivot and other Republicans pivot away from even talking about abortion. But we can't let them ignore it because the voters need to know, where these people actually stand.
And Rachel Bidikofer is one that keeps talking about Roe rage, and she just said, I made this point several times, but she said for every Kate Cox with the money and education to find allies, file suit, and eventually flee the red state of Texas, there are 10 poorer women on Texas and Medicaid sitting in a hospital parking lots waiting for sepsis and forced by Republicans to play Russian roulette with their lives. Stories before we vote in a year.
In every state, that is taking these draconian measures, absolutely.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have ever had to come to this. The American people were, in strong support of Roe. We cannot let Trump get away with saying anything other than what he's been saying all along, which is that he is the one that's responsible for this.